All
It
right,
says it's
and
starting
we
in
are
5 minutes and 12 seconds.
we are live, live.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Oh, nice. You're up to 98 followers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hey there, interwebs. We are back for better or for worse. Probably worse. We're going to find out in a minute. All right. So we are live. The group is here. The gang is here. Good evening to all. Good evening to our rifters out there on the Blogoblag listening in. This is the Role-Playing Rats live stream and podcast after a short break, a brief intermission of a couple of weeks here. We've had some missed schedules, some vacations, some time away, but we're ready to get back after it and see if we can kill off the players. See if we can have a good time this evening with everyone thinking and feeling. Is that right there, Revolve Octa Rock? That was the goal, right? Thinking and feeling? And
Thinking and
breathing?
feeling broken, beaten, and bloody.
Yeah, my man. Yes. So, we left our players, our role-playing rats, last session. Brief introductions. We have Tyler, the Glitter Boy pilot, Kintaro playing Slash, the Mars Package mercenary, and Revolver Octorok playing Graham, the Leyline Walker. We've all been away from Savage Worlds for a little while, and even longer away from the spicy world of Rifts, the post-apocalyptic or post-apocalyptic game setting. So last session, the group got into the barony of Pryde's Shield proper after coming down from a 5,000-foot plateau mountain pass. They crossed a ley line. They almost met a ley line croc, really fun homebrew monster. More on that later. And they felt several, or our leyline walker, I should say, felt several massive leyline nexuses or nexi, question mark, around the area that they were in as they entered this mining town basin, this barony of Pryde's Shield, a bastion of hope here in this dark time, in this dark world, because of Pryde's game, a lottery-style game to Utopia, the promised land out of this horrific world of rifts that we know now. And as the team entered the town, what should happen but they entered the arena of a soapboxer who was up there speaking to a crowd and getting them riled up. And how does the Glitter Boy choose to solve it? Why, by letting off a boom. And it is in the aftermath of this potentially precipitous choice that we encounter the role-playing rats as they stand in front of a treaded truck, flatbed open-top truck, beginning to be surrounded by the law enforcement of the town, supposed law enforcement of the town, with the logos and symbology of the town, the town stamp painted on their armor and on their vehicle. The mayor himself is standing to the side, being brushed down by an aide. The vehicle that he was in, the hover vehicle, is over a roasted, toasted corpse of a poor passerby who was pushed out from the crowd by the speaker, who himself has disappeared into the sewers of Pryde's Shield. Gentlemen, I think we will lead off here with Tyler, our Glitter Boy pilot, and the near full conversion Borg, some form of officer, lieutenant, sergeant. You're not really sure. Rankings are unique to each mercenary group, but you're fairly certain this is the law enforcement gang, and he is there with a human head on top of a easily 80% converted Borg body, and he's chawing on a cigar saying, "Well, Glitter Boy, I think you probably got some answers for me. Hopefully you aren't at the heart of this, because you're damn hard to put down, but I ain't opposed to the idea myself."
I mean, as much fun as that would be, definitely not looking to tangle with the law. So, certainly got some answers for you. So, ready whenever you are to answer those questions.
Right here, right now. What the fuck were you doing shooting a boom gun in my town, sir?
Well, it was the only way to get everybody to stop murdering each other.
Ooh. All right, murder. You have my attention. But I'm
I'll
not sure if that justifies it. Let's dig a little bit. Can you give me some more?
I'll point to the guy that's cooked underneath the car with my glitter boy armor. Just like, how about that guy?
Send him back to the kitchen. He's way overdone.
Yeah, just a
He
little
spits
bit.
towards the car.
So anyway,
So,
you got
crowd was
a
murdering
rabble
each other.
rouser.
Keep going.
You
Okay.
got a
Rabble
rabble
rouser.
rouser
Keep
in
going.
town. Yep. There's a gentleman that was saying some rather bad things to get everybody roused up. The mayor rolled in his car, and the gentleman pushed that guy in front of the car, and at which time absolute pandemonium broke out here. And being in a glitter boy, I can't exactly, tiptoe through the crowd. And was looking like the guards of the mayor were also getting pulled off their bikes. So that was going to end up very poorly for those gentlemen. So to get everybody's attention and make them stop in their tracks, that's why I lit one off.
He hauls up another loogie, and you're really not sure where, because there can't be much biology below that neckline, if we're honest. But he hauls up another loogie, lops it out, says, "All right. In light of a lack of further evidence, I am willing to countenance that as reasonable for now." Which sounds pretty good. I know we got a couple rabble rousers around town here, but let's not discount the fact that you may have just been having yourself a little joyride and threatening my docile populace here. And he motions grandly at the people, beginning to stand up from their stunned and shocked, keeling over when you let off the gun. And he turns around. Go ahead.
Question for you, sir. You're
You get
hawking
one.
up a lot of loogies there. Do you have a special add-on in that uh stuff you've got going on just to be able to hawk up extra loogies?
It's it's a first. Arrogant or cocky, I don't know, but I like him. Really hope you weren't causing the shit here, boy. He's gonna turn away, and so Graham, I believe you were standing somewhat in the vicinity of Tyler, but you had moved away to try and see if you could rescue the tartar underneath the car, only to find that it had been charred to a briquette. So are you still by the sedan?
Definitely. Yeah,
Okay.
I don't think he's left at all. I think he's still like wherever that body is. Yeah.
Sure. So just kind of taking everything in, and still going over running through the events, wondering if he could have done things differently, something like that.
Very much so. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool. So he's going to turn over to you, and then Slash, before we do another scene here, can you remind me of where you had gotten to? I remember you had picked the mayor up, flown to the other side of the vehicle, and you were talking to the guys about if you could get after dude down the alleyway. Had you flown to the mouth of the alleyway? We're just trying to set the scene here. Where is everybody?
Well, since they had said he had got away into the sewers, I had come back towards Tyler. And when he asked that question, I kind of looked at him and smirked and said, "Damn it, he read my mind. I was going to ask him the same thing."
Nice. Okay, cool. So our guard officer is going to turn to the hooded figure. Actually, no, scratch that. He's going to turn to the Flying Titan power armor. All right, next up, next most threatening individual here, Flying Titan. That looks like a 003B model, but what's your deal? What's going on? What did you see the glitter boy do? Are you with him? Can I trust what you say? Who are we? What are we doing here? I need some answers from you now.
Well, when he decided to let off the boom shot and the mayor was getting ready to get murdered by the crowd, I decided it was within everyone's best interest for me to go and snag him out of his car and get him out of danger's way until we could answer some questions about who this asshole was that just torched this brick over here.
And the mayor will turn around and say, "Yes, God, Lyle, yes, all that he says is true. I am most ingratiated to these people here. I owe them my life, I feel." And who you now know to be Guard Lyle says, "Oh, yes, of course, Mayor. I didn't, wasn't sure if that was you. Just trying to conduct a proper investigation, sir." Right. Okay. Well, our two power armored friends have been vetted by the mayor. I guess that's a hard limit on our fun here today, folks. He says real quiet. You assume he has a throat mic on or something and all that cyborgness.
Yeah.
Well, and we'll just get this cleaned up here, and I'd like you both to go and register, and the mayor cuts in. "Lyle, please, please. They're obviously new in town. There's really no need. There are too many people for you to track. Could you just pick up the bodies, disperse the crowd, do what a guard is to do here in the daylight at Pryde's Shield, and please just be on.
I'm
Lyle's
going to
shoulders kind of slump.
I'm
Mhm.
gonna open up my power armor and jump down out of it and go shake Lyle's hand.
All right.
Just
He's
wanted to say
you know,
appreciate you doing your job and like that. I think you're doing awesome. So appreciate you.
wow. He's got an eyebrow raised, looking at you out of one corner, like, well, thank you. Yeah, it's been real quiet here, just a bar brawl and penny pinching. So this was gonna be real exciting. Thought we might get to see some action. And he slings his obviously too heavy railgun up over his shoulder. This guy's definitely more Borg than body. But I appreciate you noticing. Let's stay out of trouble though. Like I don't really want to scrap with a glitter boy. I did once. That's kind of why I look the way I do now. And let's move on here. We're gonna clean up. And
Well, like that.
he
You don't
goes
get
to put
much
it away.
action if you're doing your job. So, and then I'll pop back into my glitter boy to get it out of the street.
You hear him as he turns around and you wheel away. He's like, "Not much action if you're doing your job. So if I stop," and he walks out of earshot.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah, right. Dun dun dun. So the mayor's going to turn to you, and as he does, you start to hear the whine of more jet, turbine hover vehicles coming up from the side road, the same road that he was on. And he says, I truly am indebted to you, intrepid interveners. Although it seemed like you hesitated at first, as if you didn't know who I was, and I'm just going to put that down to you being new. But I think if I'm reading the room right, you may be able to. And as he says that, the vehicles come screaming around the corner, and it is the drag of his motorcade, obviously radioed for backup, and they create such a kerfuffle with the engines come roaring around and honking horns to clear the street that he doesn't get to finish his sentences. His words are drowned out. So they proceed to scoop him up. The mercenary guards and guard Lyle, who I think may be a recurring character. I'm going to note that down here, because I think we have unfinished business between him and our glitter boy now. Good business, obviously, guys. No one read too much into this. I am not a killer GM. So, we get things cleaned up. The street gets cleaned up. The soapbox is just a wooden crate that was on the side. There's little to no trace. If you three want to roll me, what do we have in Savage World? Is that a notice roll? Is that what we work with in this one?
Yep.
Yeah, so if you three want to roll me a notice roll as they start to pick up the scene, I assume you're kind of going to regroup here.
Yep. I'm also gonna turn on my speaker as he gets into his motorcade and stuff and be like, "I didn't hear what you said."
He's going to ignore you as if you didn't say anything. Like he doesn't know you're talking to him.
Don't worry, Tyler. I caught that and recorded that. My power armor records stuff around. We can filter out all the noise and figure out what he said later.
Oh,
perfect.
man, look at him getting techie. Okay. Wait, Graham, are you running right now? It says running -2.
I had a button clicked in Savage Worlds. I was already playing around in there.
Oh, nice. Okay, cool. So, with those notice rolls again for Savage Worlds, I believe a 4 is a success or an average success. So we have 2 people with raises here at an 8 and a 10 from Slash and Tyler. So
Actually-
there's no real trace.
Actually, if
All-
you get rid
all
of
three
the
of us.
-2 that shouldn't be there from the running, we
Oh,
all
yeah.
have
Yep.
raises.
Fantastic. Great catch. Thank you, gentlemen. So there is nothing that specifically calls out to you around the soapbox area. As they start to pick things up, you're kind of taking in the scene. It looks like the speaker and whoever dragged him away in the body armor didn't really leave much of a trace. But you do see a piece of paper rolled up onto one of the support posts on the awning of the storefront that he was in front of. And it says, "Debunking the utopian myth, 2:00 every Saturday." And you wonder, is this a show, a sham, or is he just trying to convince more people? What's with a regular schedule?
Well, if there's a regular
So-
schedule, we'll know where to find him next time.
Yeah. So from there, if you guys don't have anything more in that scene, we're gonna shift gears here and move forward.
I think there's one thing,
Yeah.
and I don't know. Does that map have sort of like where we're at on it?
Yeah, so the map that I dropped into chat has a little X drawn onto the uh right hand of the roadway. It's kind of almost dead center of the picture.
I see. I see.
Yeah, so that X is where you're at now. And you remember that this map, this paper map, is sorely outdated, as there are multiple cross streets and road crossings, turns, and new development here. So you're really not quite sure why Sarge at the gate is still handing this out. It really doesn't make sense. But you know that down the street a little ways, you should find your accommodation for the evening.
I think the only other thing is, so the individual who got run over and cooked. I mean, they're still in like one piece though, right?
Yeah.
And Graham wants to bury them, so um, they would use magic to do it though, because ain't nobody got time for digging a hole.
Okay. That's this is an interesting bent. Um, so Graham, tell us a little bit about this. What do you have questions for me? Where would you like to do this? What is there any pomp and
Yeah,
circumstance? What's
I
your
don't know
vision?
if there's a space around here, or that's like just gestures to anybody who still might be around. Is like, is there a graveyard, empty field, just
Uh,
something?
uh one of the mercs is like a graveyard. You gonna bury the guy? We were just gonna put him on the pile.
The pile?
Yeah, the pile. There's literally hundreds of people coming here every day for this stupid game they got running here. And there's I don't know if you know, but where there's a lot of people, there's a lot of crime usually. We got a lot of knifings mostly because people are reasonably civil, meaning that they kill people quietly instead of loudly.
Yeah, of course. That sounds lovely. That's the end goal of all civilization. Absolutely. So, is there a space or no?
Yeah. There's a graveyard. We keep it off over here in the hang on, I'm trying to orient north, south. In the west part of town here by the river. You go out past the stockyards, Laramie stockyards there. I think is that your map you were just looking at? Yeah, that L down west past that L by the river. We got a graveyard out there, but the morgue pile it's more just a fucking pit. That's over on the east side, up by the other end of the river, on the way out of town, flowing out of town.
Thank you for your help.
Yeah, man. Whatever.
And
Um,
then I think he looks at like Tyler or Slash and is like, "That's still kind of hefty. Would either of you mind?"
Yep, I got him, and I'll gingerly, as dexterous as I can, with my power armor, scoop him up and kind of cradle him a little bit, and we'll go to the graveyard.
yeah, you can do a pretty good job of that. It wasn't he wasn't like disintegrated or anything. It wasn't lava, etc., or a crematorium. So just crispy. But so you scoop him up. You guys head to that western side of town, down past Laramie's, that L. You see the stockyards, but you pass on the outside of it, and you move towards the river. And it's actually like a beautiful little hill slope down to the river, which is pretty damn wide at this point. You'd say it's about 40 to 50 feet wide and running pretty quickly. But there's a beautiful little hillside that they've got here above the river. And you you're probably surprised at the amount of plots, and it looks like they've started to build a couple mausoleums so they can maybe move towards urns and something a little more space saving. But there's definitely a few hundred plots here, and some of them look to be a little bit older. Mostly it's stone, um, what's headstones, tombstones, because we are in a mining town. So, but it's
Yeah.
actually a pretty well appointed little spot.
I think he just sort of finds a sort of empty space and um, is going to try and use elemental manipulation to dig a grave.
Okay. Do you need to roll a spell?
I will,
Cast a
yes.
spell?
So that would be a success with a raise.
Fantastic. So,
And so basically, we can dig out a square foot of earth every round for 5 rounds.
okay. No, that's great. So, if you want to take this away from me for a little cinematic here, we're burying a poor passerby that was caught up in the activity, and Graham's chosen to bury him. So, if you just want to sort of paint this scene for me.
I think, yeah, here at the graveyard, just walking through this space and measuring, like, not measuring, but noting what that mercenary said of, like, there is a graveyard in this town, but there's also a pit, and all the things he was saying about, the, uh, how good people are to do their killing quietly. And it's just not a good space to be in. And so he's got his tall glitter boy there to be a shining knight, but carrying this blackened body, um, and just stares off in the middle distance while he recites this spell that he knows that he didn't think he'd ever need for a purpose like this.
All right.
And I think just hollows out a space, and I think doesn't really even say anything. Just when it's enough, um, turns to look at Tyler. And it's like, okay,
All right, and I'll make sure to not drop him in there, but set the set the gentleman in there for sure.
Okay. That's I feel like that's a pretty powerful scene. And I know that this doesn't necessarily reset, but we're gonna throw another Benny over to Graham here. If we can make that happen, yeah. Um, so we've got the poor passerby in the ground. Is your next stop going to be Maggie's for your lodging?
I guess so. I think Graham's like really out of it and is just sort of waiting for Slash or Tyler to like take a lead. Like this was the thing he needed to do, and then after that, it doesn't matter anymore.
All right, so yeah, we'll head to Maggie's and probably get a room and kind of chill for a little bit here. What time of the day is it?
So I think we're coming in at just a little bit around lunch here, or a little bit after
Okay.
lunch, if I remember right.
All right, so I think we need to check if Maggie's has food as well, but we'll head over there.
Sure, yeah. So you remember Sag at the gate saying that, yeah, you do have space at Maggie's, you should be able to get in there.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're wondering about just how slick those computers are, um, what's going on there. And then if I recall, we actually have Sarah and
I was
one
going to
other
ask, yeah,
rip
we've
to be
got,
with you at Steven. Was it
yeah,
Sarah and Steven?
I believe so.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So they're going to be ghosty NPCs because I apologize. I didn't remember till just now, brainwave, that they were with you. But okay, so the party will head over to Maggie's. So we've come back from the burial ground. It's getting on to probably early mid-afternoon, and you pull up to what looks like a fun, kind of light two-story house or longhouse that's obviously catering to visitors of the town. And it's got a big old sign painted over the door that says Maggie's with swinging saloon doors. And there's music and laughter coming from inside, even at this time of day. It's a little bit too early to be drinking, but this town is host to all kinds of people in all kinds of numbers. And as you push through the doors, gonna take a quick break check here. Where are we who's going in? This boardwalk doesn't look fit for power armor. Are we sending
Nope.
in a scout or are you guys dismounting?
I'm gonna do the same thing I did before. I'm gonna find the hitch, take Patty over there, get out of the power armor, shut the door, and tie Patty to the horse hitch. And all right, let's go in.
Yeah, we can tell like Steven to watch the armor.
I love that.
Slash is also going to jump out of his power armor. Whoop. All right. Nobody's gonna mess with this stuff.
I love that. I forgot that the horse was named Patty, and I love that you tell Steven to watch the horses. That's so great. Um, um, right. So we push into Maggie's. There are indeed, the place is probably about a third full. There's all kinds of characters and cast and crew in here. And at a glance, you think you actually see a juicer in back getting very drunk over by the wall. His table is covered in bottles. But there's a jolly old lady behind the bar who's getting on in her years, but doesn't seem to be slowing down at all as she moves beer back and forth with a swiftness. And a couple of younger serving girls are working the tables and dropping off food. So there's definitely a smell of warm stew. There's definitely a smell of warm beer and of dirty travelers, and it feels very homey.
Nice. So I'll walk up to the bar and
Fantastic.
say, "Hello."
And Maggie turns around and goes, "Hey, travelers! What are you three doing in here?"
Oh my God, I literally like back up a little bit. This lady is way too energetic for, after burying someone. And I just wasn't ready for that.
Yeah, Graham just blinks.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, doing
Just stares her
well.
down.
Mm-hmm.
Came
Good.
in for need a room and some food and some drink.
Great. Wonderful. We can help you guys out with that. Like, it's just such a stark contrast to where you just were. In fact, we got the ping on the system that they just set up a couple of weeks ago. We knew you were coming, so I've got beds for 5. Does that sound about right?
Yes, it does.
Great! You can head on upstairs. You'll actually see your name on a digital plate next to your door. Welcome to Maggie's Welcome to My Home, the best rest stop for weary travelers in Pryde's Shield. And she's just this bubbly jitterbug of an auntie figure, not
Tyler.
quite grandmother.
Tyler,
Yeah,
is that what drugs looks like?
I think so. I think so. Is there a role that I could do to like notice if she's like that's just a
Using
front she's
something?
putting on?
My second guess, Tyler. She is a robot, and it's misprogrammed to be cheery.
I guess that could probably be
It's damage, is what I'm saying. Whatever this is, it's damage.
a notice or a survival, maybe?
All right, I'll roll a notice because this is freaking me out. Like this is stark contrast. So a 7.
So that is a success with not quite a raise, right? It's 4 more
Right.
for a raise.
Yep.
Okay. To what you can see, she's not like, there aren't pock marks around the crook of her arm or anything like that. Her eyes are very bright, but she seems just genuinely happy to see you and just engaged with what she's doing. Like this is
Okay.
her life.
Okay, perfect. Then I'll lean back into the bar. Well, I gotta be honest. I really appreciate you getting rooms set up and everything prepped ahead of time. That's awesome. Would it be possible to get some lunch for me and my companions here before we head up, or how does that work? How do we pay for this, by the way?
Oh, you pay when you go to check out, when you go to leave us for good to that utopia of ours. We don't accept any money unless it's for drinks or food, but the room is on us.
Okay.
Yeah, she continues on. All that's on the menu today is stew. I got too many mouths to feed to make anything else, so you get stew and some hearty bread. You're gonna take it and you're gonna like it if you want to eat. Don't leave here hungry, I say.
And I absolutely love stew. So let's get this on.
Wonderful, wonderful. And you can tell your friends outside to come on in. They don't need to watch your gear. Just bring it all on in with you. Unless it's power armor, you can park that in the front or in the back, but not inside.
I kind of figured that. It didn't seem like it'd be a good place to park it in here.
My kind of guy. Go find a table. The girls will be over with the food. It's great to have you here. Here's 3 beers, and she's been pouring and talking to you, so she slides them down the bar to you real quick and moves off to the next customer down the bar.
All right. I'll quickly poke my head out the front door and um, ask the two to come on in. We got some food coming for us, and look back and see if Slash and Graham found a table.
Fantastic.
I think Graham has found a table and a chair, but has the entire time kept as best as he can watching this person, this creature of bubbliness. Like, not saying anything, just still trying to figure it out. Like, there's something wrong here.
There can't be a normal human who behaves this way. This is no, just no. I love it. So we're going to peel over to you guys sitting down. The waitresses bring over some stew and a couple extra beers for Sarah and Steven. And Steven is very, very engaged with his beer. He looks like that's been a long time wanting. And as you guys begin to dig in, you notice in your bowl Slash a scrap of cloth that comes up hooked onto your spoon. When you curiously peel it out of the spoon and say, "What the?" You're about to raise a hand and call for the waitress. You see that there are some words written in there.
Well,
I
this
was
is
just
curious.
thinking that I was only going to eat bread.
Looks like we might have some Soylent soup here. What do you guys make of this? I'm gonna hold it up and try to see what it said.
Sure. It's actually scrawled pretty big. It was rolled up pretty tightly there in your soup, and it says, "See me, Laramies, daylight, M."
Well, boys, it looks like we got a date in the morning time.
Tyler's still shoving stew into his mouth, irregardless of what's in it. Looks like it.
I'm gonna hand the note to Graham so he can take a look at it.
Oh yeah, I think he like sort of muses over this piece of fabric and just like, see, I knew it. Just damage. Called it.
Something's going on.
I don't know if damage is the right phrase, but okay. So
Slash is gonna start shoveling the stew into his mouth and just go to town on it because he's starving.
Sure. All right. Well, there's nothing else too eventful that goes on at Maggie's. You eat, you dine. You see more travelers come in, weary, road-worn people, and other folks who look like they've maybe put in a day. An hour or so passes. I assume, if there's nothing else too prevalent, we can move to the next story point. Is there anything you guys would like to accomplish this evening? Did you want to talk to some townsfolk? Did you want to call in the rest of the refugees? Or were you still on your fact finding?
I think we're still fact finding, and I think they can be set up out there with everything they've got to kind of camp out there. I think.
Yeah, they're good.
I think we can leave them out there, and then we can probably come back to them at some point and be like, hey, we can only do so much. So, if you want to pay your way into the city, then maybe we could help, or, you take care of yourself. That's, I think we're reaching the end of our ability to be in charge of them.
Yep.
Steven, leans into the table as you guys decide what to, what you're going to do, how you're going to play it, if you're still fact finding or what. And he says, I think we all just kind of, this might sound bad, but we all just kind of latched on to you guys because you were trying to get away. And I don't know if any of us really knew that you were going somewhere like this, but you were just trying to get out. And I mean, you've traveled with us. You've seen what we aren't really capable of. And the only reason we got here is because of you. But I don't think you're in any way responsible for us. I mean, the town entry's just 10 credits. If you can't come up with that, I'm sure that someone, some of us have something put by that the bandits didn't get outside of the town. And we're here now. You've seen us safe. I think I'll talk to him tomorrow, but I think you've done your part. And then he kind of leans back and downs the rest of his beer.
Thanks, Stephen. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Just as a note here, quick note, 10 credits is not a whole huge heap of money for armsmen or mercenaries, or Slash could walk away with 10,000 credits for one weekend's worth of work, fighting off some bandits from a town wall kind of thing. So just as a scale of funds in this world in Rifts. But it is an amount, especially for refugees, and then refugees who were just hit by bandits, moreover.
Yep. Yeah,
So
Tyler's got enough to cover it. He's already thinking
yeah,
that he might do that on the down low type of idea. But the
sure,
only other
sure, sure.
thing Tyler would want to do is make sure to take and talk to Slash and be like, we should probably put our armor somewhere that's not right in front of this place. So we should see where we store that at.
Sounds good to me. Let's make that happen.
Sure. So the as you take a peek out the back, there's a stable behind Maggie's spot that has a couple horses in it. Has one cyber horse, and there's a couple of trucks parked in the sort of the yard between Maggie's and the stable building. But this is definitely where people keep bulky equipment. There's some chests and crates, and it does have a camera out back, and you're wondering just how connected this place is. If Maggie's got digital plates and had your room allotment from the main gate or the gatehouse. But definitely looks like you could thoughtlessly park your armor here behind the structure.
All right. So we'll go. I'll get in Patty and walk her around to the stables, and I'm gonna open the gate with the horses. Go in there, park park Patty there. Get out of the horse pen, and head in through the back door back into the hotel thing.
So there's a Palomino, a Golden Bay, and just a glitter boy in the third stall. No big deal. And then a cyber horse. Just everything's good here. Nothing to see. It's all right.
Can we say that there's also like a feed bag now attached to the glitter boy?
Yes. Oh man. Feedback hanging around the neck of the glitter boy. I love it. Slash, are you gonna throw the Titan back there as well?
Yeah, I followed around with Tyler's. He took his glitter boy armor, and I just got his parked right next to his. Got out and just boop boop. Looks
Love it.
safe enough. And if not, I mean, this has got an anti-theft system that I feel bad for any poor sucker that decides to try to mess with it.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. No. You guys definitely feel pretty secure in this. All right. So you head back into Maggie's. There's probably a few beers consumed, a couple more bowls of stew. No more mysterious messages turn up for you, Slash, or for either of your compatriots here. And the night passes rather uneventfully as you blow off some steam with Steven and beginning to sing some ballads, and Sarah even getting up on a table.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, it's a party, man. And you feel like it's maybe always a party at Maggie's. You don't know if this extends to just, her own little microcosm here, or if this is just the party at Pride's Shield happens every night kind of thing. But you do notice that as the sun is going down, kind of around sunset, you get to that red sort of twilight. The place does start to fill up, and people begin to hurry in off the streets as it gets darker and darker. And Maggie's is brightly, brightly lit. And I'll take a notice roll from Graham here.
Okay, 1 second. I'll spend a penny on that.
Sure. Yeah, you've got a couple to burn.
Nah, still not gonna do it.
Yeah, that's a little intense there. Um, so you notice, Graham, even with a 3 on the roll there, it's not quite a success at a 4, but this is you are a ley line walker for pity's sake, unless you got blind wasted. But you notice that as it gets darker and darker outside, Maggie's almost gets brighter, and then you realize that her building is actually lit by um what has to be a techno wizard item because it seems to be as bright as daylight. So you're assuming there's a globe of daylight, something sort of item that's rolling around here, and she's got more than a couple as her place is lit up just beautifully bright and cheery and airy. And in your stunned estimation, you're like, Maggie isn't slowing down at all. She is not right. There's something wrong
Yeah.
with her.
Yeah, I mean, as to the magic stuff, yeah, ley line walkers have like the sort of built-in detect arcane. So I think you
Oh,
definitely like, yeah.
perfect. Yeah. So as
I think
soon
you
as you
definitely key
walked
into
in,
it.
there's a buzz of magic, and you can't quite put your finger on it. And then as it gets dark, you're like, oh, sure, yeah, globe of daylight. There's been a techno wizard here.
Yeah, but you said that Maggie also seems like just unreal.
Yeah, yeah, man. She's just powering along. She hasn't slowed down since you guys got in, and it's only gotten busier. And she's just chipper, bright, cheery with every single guest that comes up to her counter. And she's waiting that bar, and we're moving on into the evening now. As you see this, we're getting to that 6, 7 o'clock, and it's just like, man, Maggie
Can
is
I
a force.
basically use like the detect arcana ability to see if there's anything supernatural about her?
I mean, sure you can. Do leyline walkers get any kind of sense supernatural?
Yeah, I need to pull up the exact. I have like a rough version in my notes for the character because it's not the full power, I think. So I need to pull up the archetype.
Right. Because I think there are some psychic characters and operators that get like a full if something walks into a radius, but I don't know if leyline walkers get that without casting something.
They definitely get something without needing to take the power. Let's see. I believe, yeah. Yeah, they get expanded awareness. They have the detect arcana power as an innate ability, um, with a reduced power point cost from both the range and aspects. They sense supernatural beings within line of sight with a notice check.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
So
And
yeah,
yeah, give me that notice check, my boy. Give me a fresh one here.
okay, that's a
Yeah,
success.
yeah, that is a success with a 5. Maggie is definitely not of Earth, but 100% of Rift's Earth, which means you don't know what she is, but she ain't human.
Um, that does actually feel like his not speciality necessarily, but like this is a kind of thing that Graham does work about or does have knowledge of. Is there something I could roll to like pin that down?
Yeah, I think so. If you want to make that, detect Arcana at will with no PPE cost, maybe you can determine what type of racial magic she may be putting off. I'd be willing
Yeah,
to
I
roll
mean more like
that.
yeah, is there like a knowledge related skill there?
Blah, 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 blah. Let me pull up your sheet here. I mean, you could just make that academic skill, or it's Rift's Earth, common knowledge, and you're a magic user. I'd go for academics or common knowledge, I think.
Yeah, well, they're the same die for me, so we'll give it a shot.
Oh, fair enough. All right.
Nah.
Oh man. Okay. Well, there is definitely something about Maggie. So, all right. The night goes on. Nothing too eventful happens. You move up to your rooms, which are actually quite comfortable. They have full mattresses, not just twins. So, Maggie's definitely seems to cater to the guest first, which is interesting because she said that you don't actually pay for room, just for board. It's an interesting one. But the night goes on uneventfully, and we roll into the next morning where we now have the sun coming up, dawning, and we have a raggedy note out of a bowl of soup. We have Pryde's game and a speaker and a few different plot hooks, and I'm wondering where my players will go today on a fresh day. Steven is hungover, by the way.
Well, I think the first thing we need to do is go investigate because it's time sensitive. The soup note.
Okay.
What does everybody
Did
think?
Yeah, I think so. That one's the first thing on the list.
Okay. So we're gonna cruise on over unless Slash jumps in with a nay. Well, I'm going to ask, are you guys going in power armor or out? A glitter boy is full of notoriety,
Mm-hmm.
and you did cause a stir yesterday. I just want to point out, Tyler. But it is all
Well,
your choice.
as we're kind of meeting someone clandestinely, I will not be getting into the glitter boy armor. I'm just gonna go in normal clothes. Armed
Plain
still.
clothes.
Yep, armed still, but not wearing armor.
Okay. Have you
Same.
got same?
Oh,
Okay.
same. I'm not gonna be all flashy in the armor because everybody already saw that. So
Sure. All right, cool. So we're going kind of low key, and Graham probably looks exactly the same.
Yep.
Love it. Okay. So you
Uh,
head off to. Go ahead.
the one thing I am gonna do though is wear my actual armor, not my power armor, but my light EBA armor.
Oh, okay. Great. So you're not totally naked.
Correct.
Okay. All right, cool. So we're going to are Steven and Sarah coming with you, or are they staying?
Nah, not
Uh,
bringing him.
yeah, I think we'd leave them.
Steven's hungover, and he can like get breakfast and try to feel a little bit better.
Okay.
I tell Sarah
Sarah.
to look out for him.
Yeah, I bet. Sarah looks livelier than she's looked in a while. You don't know if it's Maggie's, contagious attitude or what, but Sarah just looks full of life. More full of life than you've seen her on this entire trip, Tyler, as you spent some time with her, and she'd lost her kids, so she's feeling good, man, and it's kind of warms your heart to see her that way.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So you three are going to peel off our intrepid explorers towards Laramie's cattle yard, stockyard, which is teeming with bovines at this time of the day. It's a little bit after dawn, and you see that it's there's a big old ranch sign across the dirt road saying Laramie's stocks in big letters, and there's a few guys rolling around with that written on the back of their shirts, sort of daubed in black ink, as they try to measure, or not measure, but corral the herds of people and of cattle as people come through purchasing some beef cows. You see some milking cows. It's all kinds of stock going on here.
Okay.
And
Well,
there's, as you guys approach the sign, as you're kind of rolling up there, slowing down a little bit, there's a guy that sort of detaches himself from a post. He's sitting up and he's got some bags under his eyes, and he's looking over at you and he says, "Hey, you three, what are you doing at Laramie's? You don't like you're here for cattle?"
nope, nope. We're here to meet someone. Not sure who, but we're here to meet him.
Yeah, yeah, this is sloppy as fuck, but you're supposed to come last night. I'm so tired. You just get this way. Come on, this way. And
Okay.
he's like just totally exhausted. His words are slurring a little bit, and it doesn't feel clandestine now. It doesn't feel like a secret note in a soup bowl as he pushes around the edge of the cattle yard to the back of one of the transaction buildings.
Mm-hmm.
There's some barred windows there, people dealing cash out. He walks you behind that, says, "Come on, keep up, keep up. You don't want people looking." And then he holds you back there for a second. He doesn't say anything to you guys at all. Not eye contact. He's just focused on getting this done. And
At
he,
some point while we're like walking like through while he's leading us through, I go like if he does like if there's a break in anything he's saying or doing, I'm like, oh, daylight.
yeah, yeah, I think there were about 3 hours of that after you got to Maggie's. You numb nuts, but you're here now. Just get in. Just get in. And he,
I turned to Tyler. I was like, oh, I thought it was a password.
He flips open the I don't know what they're called, but the two doors that open to a basement on the side of a building, they're at a little bit of a slight angle, like root
Hmm.
cellar doors. He flips those open and waves you down the stairs real quick. And then once the third person is in, he slams them back shut. And as you move down the well-built stairs into a little basement here, it's well lit with yellow lamps, oil lamps burning, this warm, ruddy light. And you see some shelves. It does look like indeed just a safe for the transaction house upstairs. There's cash there. There's a couple credit terminals there. There's some gold. There's a corner with just random goods of varying qualities. This is kind of where all the transactional goods are held. And he flips the door back open after slamming it shut behind you, like making his exit. It's like, I'll let him know. Just hang out for a minute. Or 5. I don't know. I'll go. And he slams it back shut again.
Are we gonna die here?
I think we'll be fine.
And so you wait. Do you wait? And how long would your characters be willing to wait? Might be a question I ask.
I'll give it, like you said, he'll do 5 minutes, so I'll sit around for probably 20 minutes. The only thing we've got after this is to go kind of figure out what the games are about. So they left us in a
Yeah, I
room
think
with a
Graham
ton of
would be
money.
willing to.
So
Yeah, Graham would be willing to wait for like upwards of an hour, but I don't think he'd tell it to anyone. He'd probably say like half an hour.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Slash is patient. He's been with military stuff before. He knows hurry up and wait is
Wait.
a thing. So hurry up and wait. He'll be there till the guy gets
Memories.
back.
That's awesome. I love that. Well, it doesn't take a full hour, but it does take about 40 minutes. And so I think we may be getting sort of to the top end of Tyler's patience, maybe. And Tyler, just as you're about to sigh for like the third time and pace around again and maybe mention to the guys that it might be time to go, you hear steps crunching or footsteps crunching, and you turn towards the root cellar doors, and then you hear a sliding as a shelf moves behind you, and the three of you whip around to see one of the shelves covered in cash sliding to the side. And you hear from the other side as a crack appears in the wall. Don't shoot! It's me! Don't shoot! And a white sleeved arm pokes out of the hole with its hand up and a white glove on it.
is this the guy that was the rabble rouser?
No. So as the door slides further open, you see that it's actually the mayor.
Can I? This is
Why
very
would we
interesting.
shoot you? We what?
I don't know. It just seems like a thing to say when you meet, men at arms in a subterfugeous manner. Like don't ask me questions like that. Like, do you think I actually know what I'm doing? Do you think I'd be in the position that I'm in if I knew what I was doing? You don't know what's happening here.
Tyler just starts chuckling. Oh, this is gonna
Well,
be good.
things certainly just got really interesting. So, how many zeros are you going to put on the end of this?
I'm very ready for you to tell me what's happening here. I would very much like to know what's happening here.
Wow. This is a very rapt audience all of a sudden. He clears his throat and puts his hands behind his back. The mayor is a middle-aged man by today's standards, maybe in his mid-30s, but his hair is prematurely graying. It belies his lined face that is old in the eyes and in the forehead from frowning so much. And it's just he looks so very tired as he stands there and draws himself up straight with his hands behind his back. He says, I'd like to start by being polite and saying thank you very much for helping me yesterday, even though it was supposed to be last night. It said come in the daylight. There was easily almost, never mind. So I just wanted to say thank you for helping me out. But can I ask why you came to the barony of Pryde's Shield? Like, why are you three here right now?
I want to start off by saying that daylight exists for roughly half of any given day. If you've got there are a number of more accurate words that you could have used there. It didn't seem you were wanting for space on that piece of fabric. You rolled it up. You literally could have written out the entirety of the missive of whatever you need to say to us now. Like, I don't feel this is on us, Mayor. I think you had an opportunity to suggest today or now. You've got some leverage here. I think that you were not, leveraging.
He stares at you throughout that whole line without even blinking. And he goes, "Not the point. So why are you three here?"
We heard a story.
And he huffs a little bit. "I apologize, my learned friend. I'm not sure what it is that you do. It's a little difficult to tell just by looking at you, but yeah, I did not mean to insult. Simply that I feel time is of the essence, and I feel a pressure wearing down upon me. But I must confirm the integrity of those that I entrust, the fate of this town, of these people. It's not even this town anymore. There's so many damn people coming for this stupid game. So you heard a story. Was it about the lottery, Pryde's game? You want in on the lottery? Is that what this is all about?"
Well, of
I
course.
think he looks to the other two and is just like, yeah, just kind of shrugs.
"Well, of course," he says. "Well, yeah," he says. "Oh, no, mother." He bows his head, shakes his head, and puts a hand to his face. There's only one winner a week. Did you put any thought on what you might do to pass the time? You look like three capable young men. Young. Sorry. He glances at Slash. Youngish.
Well,
There's a
since we
number of, yeah.
since we just got here, it seems to be a pretty spicy town, to be honest. So, our current thought, or at least my current thought, is make sure we're not making too much trouble for everybody, and then figure out how we can enter the games. Make sure we're prepped for that, and we've got a group of people that we're looking to get set up to just that be settled in a place where they're a little safer than kind of out in the boonies.
He
Right.
looks at you.
Mayor, I was actually also, I have to be honest, and looks over at like Tyler and Slash and was like, as for, what to do in the meantime, I was quite interested in the administration positions within the town.
He like twitches his head towards you, like he's staring at Tyler, and he flips his head towards you, Graham. Safe. The town is safer. Well, I'm sorry to say this, but you want no part in this lottery, in this game. And he chokes out the word. And then Graham, you mentioned the admin, and he says, there's work here. Yes, there's work to be sure, but this game, you want no part in this game. And as he says you hear a cow scream, and then a person, or maybe it was a person and then a cow. And he looks up, and his eyes are immediately wide with fear. And he says, "No, it's morning. I can't say any more now, but it's death, it's hell, it's not life, and a paradise that I send them to. Take this, and don't be followed, and don't go after dark, whatever you do." And a bodyguard steps out of the hallway. At least you assume it's a bodyguard. He's a large man wearing a larger suit, and his footsteps are far too heavy for him to be human. And he says, "We need to go, sir. We need to go now." And as the mayor turns to leave, he shoves into Graham, because I feel like you were closest. He shoves a roll of paper into your hand and bustles off down the hallway.
That's no, there's so many more questions, and you're being unnecessarily cryptic. That's just totally. Communication is one of the prime factors that facilitates exchange between.
Well, I think we've got a mystery, gang.
I think you lost him there, Graham. I think he didn't hear you.
feel like it was a
Yep.
solid effort, though.
Thanks.
So what does our
So
note say?
on
Yeah,
the
definitely
paper,
like looking at this paper.
you see, folded up inside the paper is a business card, and it says Hecken and Associates. P, the letter P, and then the symbol I. He drew an eyeball.
Okay. What? It was like I'd hand it to Tyler, just like, again, this one is less about communication, more about branding, but it might appeal to you.
Hmm. And that's the
When
only
you
thing. The paper doesn't have anything else written on it. It's just this business
no,
card for.
when you flip the business card over, it has an address on the back.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
But
we've got a private eye that we're going to.
I mean,
Hmm.
technically, the P doesn't have to stand for private. It could be a public eye.
It could be.
Oh God.
It could be.
So I'm gonna cut that off there. Yeah,
You fiend.
yes, no. We're just gonna peel right off, gentlemen. Yeah, so the business card has Hecken and Associates, and it's got the P and the symbol for an eyeball, and then when you flip it around, it does have an address, and it says East 23. So you're not sure if that's a quadrant, a street, a block. You don't really know how this town is organized, but it does have a place and a number, which can't be too rough of a start when you're looking for somewhere.
Okay. Well, gentlemen, what do you say we go figure out where this goes to? And I mean, we can always ask Maggie, how we get into the lottery and stuff like that a little later today.
Yeah, I think we should definitely talk to Maggie for a second at some point today. Um, but what did he say? He was saying a lot of things there, but like, don't go out at night. Um, then don't be seen, don't be followed. That's the gist I got. Very, you know, storybook clandestine stuff.
Yeah,
Sounds like a good start.
I've got to say, I'm not one for not being followed. I'm-
I do
like, if
imagine
he's
this
looking
is a
for us to
particularly
not make a
difficult task
scene,
for you, Tyler.
well, I'm being honest here, right? Uh, so let's go head over there and see what this is about, because we've got all day to do it in the daylight, and maybe we go back at night just to see what's going on. So,
Maybe. I don't know. The night thing. That's a weird one.
mm-hmm. So he also just left us in a room full of money, right?
I was definitely thinking about that.
Oh God, come on.
Like,
How
this is
much of the
weird.
money in here could pay for our entire camp to come in?
Yeah, well, to Tyler, this is weird. Like, it's like he's not used to clandestine type of stuff. He's not used to this at all. So he's like, you go out there and you face the enemy, you know, face forward. That's the way you do this. And he's like, we're in a room in a basement at a cattle yard, surrounded by money. This is just weird.
Mhm.
So let's get out of here, because this is freaking me out, to be honest.
Yeah, that's fair. Maybe we don't be in here.
So we'll
All
go out the
right.
way we came in and head down the street and get closer to Maggie's and start asking people where this place is.
Sure. Okay. All right.
I
So,
mean, other question. Before we leave that room, they exited and entered through a like false wall or something.
so
Like I
there
know a
was
shelf a
a
shelf slid to the side, but like, is it just a tunnel behind that? Like, what was it that fully conceals this
yeah.
doorway?
It was just a tunnel that kind of shot off and then doglegged around, and you can't actually see where it ends or where it goes.
I look at Tyler and Slash. I was like, we can also just go wherever that goes too. Like, I'm not saying necessarily right this minute, but like, there's a lot of questions here.
There are, but from my perspective, I think if we go after him, it sounded like when the big guard is like, we gotta go and we gotta go now. We might be finding something out there, and going that way would put him in more danger. And I'm not quite all about that.
Alright, maybe we talk to Maggie or the private eye first.
Okay. So you head back up to the top of the stockyard. Nothing seems to be too amiss up here. You remember hearing the scream that seemed to have freaked out the mayor and set off the guard's hair trigger. But you know, you're at a cattle yard. There are slaughters happening. There's a butcher, an awful pen, off to the side where they're setting the waste and those things. So it's a day in the trade. You leave Laramie's and you begin to make your way back towards Maggie's for maybe to
Point
find
of
some.
order, actually.
Yes.
Before we leave Laramie's,
Oh,
I want to kick up the Detect Arcana again.
okay.
Like, I just want to give that place a once over when we're still in there.
Sure. I'm just gonna pull up the ability real quick and take a quick gander at that.
Yeah,
Um,
I'll pull it back up from the Leyline Walker specific one as well, just to make sure that there's no significant differences.
sure. Sure. We can take a quick look at that because I want to make sure we get you, the tools that you need. See and detect all supernatural persons, objects, or effects in sight for 5 rounds.
Yeah, and from the Leyline Walker ability and bonuses, this is just a default thing that they have that's an innate ability. Um, yeah, it has reduced PowerPoint cost from both range and the limitations of the aspects. They may sense supernatural beings within line of sight with a notice check.
Okay. Yeah. No, you throw that on, and there are what you see as a couple of DBs walking around, dimensional beings. It seems like people of all kinds live fairly openly here. The bulk of the populace is human. There's nothing amiss in the cows. It's everything within sight. So as you kind of look over the yard and take in things at a glance, you do see an aura around the accounting building or the transactions building, the tellers. But there's nothing that like leaps out at you as incredibly odd. Like there's some magic in use for utility, there's some magic
Right.
that's just coming from beings, and that's about it. There's nothing that really stands out to you.
Roger that. And
So,
yeah, I guess we get out of here.
okay. Cool. So you make your way back towards Maggie's and you turn down a street that you don't see on the map, which isn't surprising because there are a lot of streets that you don't see on the map. And it's actually rather deserted as you make your way and you feel like is this the right way to Maggie's? Hmm. Hmm. And yeah, so combat. Here we go. I think we're going to drop you guys. We're going to see if we remember how to use the combat tools in Fantasy Grounds. This is going to be exciting. So I'm going to drop you guys onto this
What a lead
map.
up.
Yeah, this is what we're doing here. And I'm going to
This is
drop
not the
that
right
map in.
road. Danger.
Yeah, man. This is we're getting back into the groove here. So there's a map. Let me know what that comes up looking like for you.
That's
We
a
should have.
sexy map. Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah. We should have some images on it from you guys coming up the road.
Yep.
Fantastic. And then I think we hit action cards for a roll. Action cards, deal to all. Whoa, bam, bam, bam. So, as we step into this combat here, you see a couple vehicles slewed across the street, which seems a little bit odd to you, and the street is incredibly quiet. You've turned off of the main street thinking that this might be a shortcut on your way back to Maggie's, but it just doesn't feel right. And then you hear the crack of a small arms rifle as a shot misses you, and you see thugs stepping out of the alley to your left up ahead. And I think that for our first, we reveal this boy. So you should be able to see some sort of character portrait on the street somewhere, maybe. Bam.
Yep,
Like so.
on the far side.
Okay, great. Great. Yep, on the far side there. And a shot misses wide as battle is joined. So we are going to move to Graham first. I see a 10 of clubs on you, sir. As our erstwhile brigand missed his first shot.
I see Slash probably going first with the jack.
Ah, all right. I thought the combat tracker organized you in order. So, Slash, my friend.
From my order, I mean, maybe I'm not looking at the right one. Maybe I need to refresh it
No, that's all right. We'll
because
run
I
Slash
see
with Jack.
the rat and then I see Slash.
Boom, 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 boom. Yeah. So the dude, the rat missed. He's out. So Slash, what have you got for me, my friend?
Well, he's gonna turn and look at those guys. Well, you boys are really gonna wish you'd have hit with that first shot, because this is not gonna be pleasant for you all now. And I'm gonna pull out my Wilkes 320 classic laser pistol that I always have with me. I'm gonna take a shot at the guy that took a shot at us.
Okay. I think that's a great place to start here. Have you got those dice handy there? Yes.
Oh, I
Yeah,
think
nope.
I'm gonna use a Benny for that. I'm gonna fire off another shot at that guy. Ooh, that looks a little bit better.
We can take a little bit better. Yeah, that's definitely a hit there. So go ahead and throw some damage onto our guy.
Remind me one more time what the damage is.
So I think on your character sheet, if I pull you up here, we should be able to just grab the damage dice off of your Wilkes and drop that into the roll. So the
Is that
320
the
classic laser pistol, that AP2 with the 3d6 on the right of it.
got you
Yeah.
dropping these bad boys in? Let's see. Oh,
Oh
oh,
wow.
14, not bad.
Oh wow. All right. Well, yeah. So with a 14, thug number 1 is completely splashed. So that's what happens there when you're shot by a hero, ladies and gentlemen.
That was good.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that went real smooth. Real smooth there. So we're gonna move to our next combatant, which is another shot in the dark from beside of the car there, and he is going to target our Slash who let off that first shot. And we're going to roll to hit, if I've got this right.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Nope, our heroes aren't in their armor, and it is a great time. Oh wow! And another shot goes wide. We miss Slash, and then our next combatant, we get another shot cracked off in the dark here. Oh nope, sorry, that's my mistake. Our next combatant is Graham. We are to Graham now.
Okay. Can we see the individual who just fired at Slash?
Yeah, should do. There should be a symbol to your 11 o'clock behind the car, the hood of the car. Yep. Someone just dropped an arrow down on the map there. Is that coming up
Right.
for you?
Yeah, I see it. Yeah,
Okay, cool.
I just don't remember how to like target things in here.
Oh yeah, I haven't been getting that far. I just roll the dice, pray a little
Control
bit.
click.
Ah,
We are we're gonna do one of our patented perfected spells here.
oh
Um,
boy.
deciding which one here. I'm gonna use fear. I think. Let's do that for fun.
Okay. Oh wow. Oh my.
That's the spell casting. Let's see. He is an extra,
Yes.
so he is panicked.
Okay. Fantastic. Do you have offhand what that is? Can I pull up the
Oh, before that, he needs to do a fear roll. So he does I believe it's a spirit roll, and because of the raise, it's at a -2.
Okay, so this is our guy here. Spirit roll at -2. Here we go, kids. That is not a pass. He fails his spirit roll. So, from our spell of fear,
He will gain the panicked condition, so he will move his full pace plus running die away.
jeez, okay, that's awesome. All right, so he definitely, absolutely makes a break for it.
Yeah, look, I can put the thing on the thing. It now shows him as
Yeah,
panicked in there.
yeah. Oh, that's perfect. That's perfect. So I think if I just nope, if I click and drag, it doesn't give me a movement counter. So we'll see what that looks like. But he moves way away. And for our pace of 6, and then the run die, bam. So he's moving off down the sidewalk directly away from the source of his fear. And we will move to our next combatant, which is another head popping up from behind that same vehicle where fear was just cast from. And we're going to take a shot at now the spellcaster who just struck fear into the heart of his comrade. So we said it was a control click. Do, 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 do. Nope, that's not doing what we want it to do. This guy is our guy. Meh, it's all right. We're just gonna roll the hit.
If you have the little 3 buttons there of the target, clear target, and friendly, you can just click the button and drag it on top of somebody.
Nice. Okay, I like
I don't know if
that.
that'll work for you. That's how I target the other guy.
Sure, sure, sure. Well, I'm trying to drag from the combat tracker the little drag on to new target, but it's selecting the guy who just ran off and bunked. So
Ah,
I don't know. I don't know what the deal is with that. But we just rolled another miss. My guys are rolling abysmally, so I think we're just going to mop up the extras here. I don't know. But the guy behind the car just fired and missed at the ley line walker, and so we're going to move to our next person, who is Tyler.
All right. So Tyler, whoop, he disappeared. There he is. Is going to move up as best as he can. How much can I move here? My move on foot is pace is 6, so I can move 6. I can move there. So if you control while you're moving, it'll give you a distance.
Okay, fantastic.
I'm going to kind of get behind the car here, so I've got some cover.
Okay. Bam.
And then would you guys mind not shooting at us, please? I'd rather not kill you, but I'm gonna do it. You stop, put up your weapons, and I won't have to keep killing all of you. And do I see anybody else? Do I notice anybody else out here? Because these guys look like puds, and I don't like
Yeah,
dealing with puds.
sure, sure. No, well, as you say that, and you say, could you please stop trying to kill us. I don't want to kill yous, kind of deal. There's a shot rings out from what you assume to be off to your right, and you realize that it's coming down from a rooftop as it tries to target you. And guys, I'm getting kind of tired of this. So he missed as well. I don't I don't understand.
the dice are not always kind.
I only need to roll a 4 for Pete's sake.
So where's the guy on the roof?
He is behind you. Oh yeah, he didn't pop up on the map. I don't. What have we done now? Is he on your map?
Now he is.
Mhm.
You
Yeah.
see him? Okay, yeah. There you go.
All right.
That's our boy.
He looks like a pud as well, doesn't he?
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, definitely. You assume
Okay. So I'm
you're a
going
glitter boy.
to.
Everyone looks like a pud. Let's be honest.
Well, I don't have my glitter boy armor on, so let's see here. Can we just drag that on there? Not linked to combat tracker entry. He's not in the combat tracker, I think. So
Oh goodness. Well, I don't know if I can do that in combat here. I don't
that's
know if
fine.
I can just add.
It's fine. It's fine. So I'm going to take a shot at him. You, sir,
Right.
tried to shoot me in the back, and I gotta tell you, I don't appreciate that. So I'm gonna take my shooting and shoot at him.
Do it.
And I'll take a 4 with that. I think that feels good.
Yep. That'll do you.
And so I'm using my Wilkes. So let's roll that. 15 damage.
Oh well, yeah. You let off that pithy comment and whip out that Wilkes, and you just let off that shot like it's a boom gun, arm locked out, feet planted, and it goes clean through his skull and knocks him back onto the roof.
Anybody
And
else?
someone just applied a panicked effect to you.
Oops, I just clicked. I don't know if I can get rid of it.
I can't.
Just don't
Uh,
press buttons all the time. That's the real answer.
yeah. So you shout off anyone else, and then combat rolls to our next combatant, which should give us a fresh deal. And brings us up to the street rat who is running away. So for panic, can he make another spirit roll, or does he just keep booking it?
That I am unsure. That's why I was pressing buttons. I was trying to pull that up.
Oh,
I imagine it'll be under like states or something like that.
yeah, more than likely.
Let's see. I think he is also shaken. I don't know. It's been a while since we've been at these characters and
Yeah,
Savage Worlds. Um, do you have a? Can you look up Panicked as well?
yeah. I'm working on pulling that up myself. So I've got your fear table up. You know, the shaken. The character is shaken, but doesn't tell us what it does. So I'm just dumping into the book here real quick. So that's going to be in the basic book with Savage Worlds, not in the Rifts rules.
I'm not finding it in there.
Okay. Well,
The only
then
other
just
the
to
only other
keep
thing I have
things.
is on the fear table, which like Panicked is. They move their full thing away and are shaken. So I imagine he maybe can move back, but is still shaken.
No, just to keep things rolling, I'm going to give him another spirit roll to see if he can shake it off because he's a bolder than average street rat. Since they're extras and they get splattered at the drop of a hat, we're just going to give him something here. Give me something to work with. Um, hey, we passed a roll. So he started sprinting and he trips and slides on the sidewalk, and it seems to jar him to his senses as he gets back up onto his knees and cracks off another shot. He gets another shot. Let's see. So we're going to try and drag onto new target, and it is still trying to not target him. Like I want my guy target you. So I'll work on that later. But he is going to roll to strike with his own laser rifle at Tyler in the corner, and I finally have a hit. And his damage looks a little something like, oh, okay. We got 12 damage off of our laser rifle as a bolt streaks out from the panicked, sweating, shaking rat towards our erstwhile glitter boy pilot.
That's my toughness is 10.
Oh,
So
That EV armor, man.
Yep. So that would make me shaken, correct?
Yep. Yep. I believe
Okay.
that is how that works.
Okay. I will take the shaken for that, as I don't think I can do anything about it anyways. So
You could soak.
Yeah, you can spend
not
advantage
for
on
a
them.
shaken. I think I'm good.
Okay. All right. All right. But after shaking comes stirred, and that's when things start to hurt.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So moving on to our next combatant as we step down the tracker. That one is splatted, incapacitated, and he's an extra, so he doesn't get to roll. We're gonna move on to the next one. That is our wow. My guy's pulled some great action cards. I'm sorry, folks. So we're going to pull our
Sure.
yeah, not not stacked at all here. Cuff cuff. He's going to take another shot at Graham at our late line walker to try and see if you can put him down. Hey, and that's a I don't that's an ace. So he only rolled a 2 on his next die, which gives me a total of 8. If I recall, it's not an 8 is 1 raise, which gives
Yep.
me 1 crit, which is a I don't get to re-roll the dice, right? But I get to add a die. Is that right for Savage
You get a
Worlds?
D6. Yep.
I get a D6. Okay, yeah. All right, it's all sounding right. Take our dice, add 1d6, and drop that. Oh, man, we're just not doing great. I rolled 9 damage for our Leyline Walker, and I'm sure you have a toughness of something ridiculous as well.
10.
Mm. So your voluminous robes of power as they ripple around you, casting a fear spell, absorb this laser blast, which is just frustrating. You're wearing full body armor, right? Or is that a spell?
We're wearing a full suit of body armor, or like a nice body armor, yeah.
Okay.
I believe a Huntsman medium personal armor, which you gave to us, my friend.
Oh, that is Hermina. Okay. Well, these things happen. It's all good. It's all good. Nothing to see here. So our next one on the docket is also incapacitated, so not sure why he's coming up. We're just gonna remove him from the map so we stop getting confuzzled here. And it comes down to Tyler, and Tyler is rolling some dice. My goodness.
I think I'm accidentally clicking something. So okay.
Well, I think you did good things because that's a hell of a heavy roll there to recover from your shaken status.
That's what I would try to do. Did I roll the right thing, or did it automatically do it? It might have automatically
It did
rolled.
Look,
shaken.
I saw the
Yeah.
dice roll, so if
Yeah.
you didn't click to do it, the game did it for you.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I was about to look up shaken so I could figure out how to get rid of it.
So it auto one shook you, sir, because you got 2 raises on a basic success of a 4. You had 8, 12, you rolled a 13. And so it unshook you, and you are up for your action. So the one on the roof, you are nearly certain is dead with a laser bolt through his skull. You got one behind the car at your 10 o'clock, and another one behind the car at your 11.
Yep. I am going to shoot at the close one. So
Okay.
this guy here.
Mm-hmm.
Take my shooting and roll that. Ooh, we got an ace. That would be a 6, so just a regular hit.
Yep.
And combat, my Wilkes will shoot that. Oh no. 21.
Good God, man. Yeah, well, that's another one who's just splattered. He's done. He is done.
And I'll
So,
yell to the last guy, you can give up now or else.
and he'll shout back, "That's not how you get in!" and keep blasting away. But it moves to Slash's turn.
Well, he had his chance. You guys heard him, and I'm gonna take my Wilkes pistol and take another shot at him.
That's a hit. That's a hit. Let's get some damage in there.
5.
Hey, look at me coming out on top for once. Excellent. Well, I mean, not on top, just not dead.
He's
So
definitely
you,
feeling it.
yeah, no. The blast hits him high on the shoulder, but it looks like his armor soaked up most of the shot, and we're gonna
Hold
move.
on a second.
Atapa?
I'm going to go ahead and use my trait, one of my edges, Common Bond, to spend a Benny 4 slash to have him reroll the damage on that, because that was abysmal damage.
You got
Let
it.
me have my goon.
Oh, absolutely not, sir. So, yeah, may freely give her bennies to any other player communicate with. I was just be like, you got this, slash. Like, I've never
That's
seen you
12.
miss.
He's 12. Okay, and so we splat him. Splat yet another one of my boys.
Right between the eyes.
Oh yeah. Yeah, definitely another clean one. And with that, the silent street is now silent again.
He told you guys you should have surrendered. Now we just get to clean up your loot.
A loot and we will go. A loot and we will go. Let's see. I do not remember the loot inventory buttons, so we'll clean that up in a bit here. But you can definitely gather up the gear and the bodies. The guy who's up on the roof of the building, it is a oddly abandoned building, but there are a few of those. You know, it's a newer construction. It looks like it just hasn't been moved into yet. And there's the door was kicked in. Is obviously how he got up there. But you can definitely collect 4 goons worth of loot, mostly weapons. They didn't have a lot on them, but on the one that you shouted at, who said that's not how you get in, you do find a note that's written on some really thin leather. It's like almost gone translucent, and
Mhm.
it says, "Kill 3 newcomers and bring proof to the bar."
Hmm.
That is all.
Hey, Graham,
Hmm?
is there any way you could resuscitate any of these guys so we can question them?
Graham just looks at Tyler and is like, dead is dead, Tyler.
Well, I had to ask.
I think that's actually a really good line to end on. Dead is dead, Tyler. And I think that'll close the session for me tonight. I like that. That feels really good.
It's funny, because if it come around to my turn, then I was definitely going to entangle one or something like that, but nope.
This is a little bit of a twist that I feel for Graham. Um, Getting Slash to re-roll for a kill.
Which was definitely like, it seemed like the right thing as a player and the wrong thing as a character. It's like I have
Mhm.
not had an opportunity to use this edge entirely, uh, and I thought about it. I was just doing it. I was just like, Graham wouldn't, like, I wouldn't use it on Graham to kill somebody, but like Graham would be encouraging and like supportive to his allies.
Mhm. Mhm.
So it's a
Well,
weird little catch-22.
yeah, yeah, man. Well, do we have any closing thoughts here? As I really do think that is a good spot to end the session. Dead is dead, Tyler. I love that. So, if there's any closing questions or thoughts, I'll pull up the loot and get that into the inventory in a little bit here. But concerns, questions, visions, prophecies.
No, that was good. That was fun.
Yeah, I think
I'll
all the questions are out there in front of us now.
just
Yes.
trying to get back into it. A little bit of story, a little bit of RP, a little bit of combat. Get our
Yep.
feet wet.
The plot hooks are thick now, and it is amazing.
Oh, excellent,
Ready to
excellent.
just swing from hook to hook. Let's go, boys.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. Brachiation, right? Well, then if that's what that is, then I want to say thank you to any live listeners who joined us. I don't know how many we had this evening, if any, but you are all very much appreciated. And for anyone who's catching that podcast, then please, thank you. Give us a follow, give us a review, give us a like, or jump over to Twitter, Roleplaying Rats, ROLE Playing Rats on Twitter, and give us a shout there. Ask us some questions. Let us know if you're following along with the story and what you think of it. It's been fun, and it's going to be more fun. This is definitely coming back after a break. I think we got to shake the rust off here, but I'm excited to get back into this story.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
can't wait to see where it goes.
All right, everybody. Thank you much, and have a good night. Later.